Alright, we're going to replace this regular plug with a GFCI plug. First, let me show you what a GFCI plug is right here. Thank you.
It's probably a
Okay.
That's a nice wooden plug for a plug.
That's a GFCI plug. It's got a built-in trip switch. If it ever gets wet, it'll trip here and it'll save you from getting shocked. It typically has a yellow or red sticker on the back that blocks the lower plugs for the wires. And the reason why is so it makes it very easy for the homeowner to install these. Additionally,
Can I sit up here?
Sure. No, wait, Juju's up there. Actually, Juju, I don't even want you sitting up there. Please get down. I didn't realize you were up there. Sorry. Additionally, there's a green screw on the bottom, and that is for your ground wire. Your ground wire is typically your copper wire. Yes, ma'am.
I noticed that you don't have to tell me that 2 times.
Super. You know who I'm telling? Or all the YouTube viewers that are out there. So let's get started first of all by pulling the old plug out.
Dad, your tools are open up.
My tools are opened up. Awesome sauce. Okay. Are we still recording? Awesome. Okay.
Dad, what's this?
This is a Phillips head. Our screws
Phillips head. Yes, it is.
are flathead. Okay, so
Put it.
first thing we got to do. First things first, you should check and make sure the power is off. I have checked to be sure that the power is off.
I know when the power's off, everything goes off. But not the light.
You want to turn the power off in the breaker box. And one way to check it is to plug in a radio, turn it up real loud, go down to the breaker box, and go through the switches. When the radio goes off, chances are you got the correct breaker to that plug. Alright, 2 screws. Alright, you pull this out. Look how dirty and old that is.
Yeah.
Look at all those wires there. Let me tell you what they are. See this bare copper wire? That's your ground wire. And it would be on a green screw here on the bottom, just like our GFI. But we have 4 wires coming out of the back, but only 2 spots here. Which means we will actually use the bottom screws that are behind here. Because this appliance, or this plug, is in a sequence. Here's your return neutral white, your black hot, which is your power coming in. So this is just in line, and all we have to do is pull the power off and the power out and the return neutral in and the return neutral out, and touch our ground to make sure that it is a closed ground circuit. Very easy to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our wires, and we can either walk them out or you can snip them and restrip them. I'm going to try to walk them out real quick with a pair of needle nose pliers. Oh, these are needle nose pliers.
Needle nose pliers.
Needle nose pliers, and I'm actually just going to grab it up against the base here and give it a little walk. There is a release in here, but I don't usually use that release. I just can walk them out most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. This isn't going to be one of those times, is it?
It's going to be those times.
Yep. Wow, that's really in there good. Okay, let me show you the release on that. See that little flat hole right there? There's where the wire goes in. Right next to it is a little flat spot. And if I put something in there to smush that down, it'll open right up. And I've got a little small screwdriver will do that. Or, just this little pick right here. To make matters a little bit easier, I can put that pick, and a little square one right there, wiggle it down in there, and let's see if I can just pull that out. Little effort. There we go. So I'm going to use my little pick in. I'll release the catch. that one came right on out. Same here. Put your pick in, little small screwdriver. Again, make sure your power's off. You don't want to get shocked.
That's why I don't build bathrooms.
Okay, that's why you don't build bathrooms. You can if you want to. Then here on the bottom, we still have this little ground screw right here.
Only make cabinets and other stuff.
Cabinets and other stuff?
But
Cool.
not when we're using the power.
Okay.
On its side for the
The appliance is free. It's a fine appliance. It's worked fine, but it's too close to a water source. Since we're upgrading the bathroom, we're going to go ahead and upgrade the electrics in here also. Gabriella, will you take this and go throw it in the trash for me?
Yeah.
Or you can play with it for a few moments. I don't care. You want to play with it? You can check it out. You want to check it out too? Go ahead. Alright. Now there's a couple things here on the back. Okay. Black wires are your hot wires when the power's on. That's what brings the power to the plug. To complete the circuit and send the power back out, you need the white wires. Well, we got 4 wires, 5 including the bare wire down here at the bottom. That bare wire is your neutral wire. That neutral wire, or that ground wire, this is your ground wire, and you're just going to hook him into place. That one's easy now. Now here's a good rule of thumb. Most appliances, most plugs, most switches, when there's a ground on there and you have spots here for your white wires or your neutral wires, they will go on the same side as your ground wire. So here's my ground. These are supposed to be for my returns, my neutrals, my whites, which are these guys right here. And you can double check. A lot of times the manufacturer will, you may not be able to see it, but it says white, blanco, right there. So you know that that's where they go. We're going to peel this off because we know we're going to use all 4 spots, and we're going to go ahead and hook up our whites right now. We're going to go ahead and hook up those right in here. And it really doesn't matter on the whites. You just hold on to those for me. I don't need those right now. Thank you, though. When you look in the box, I would say that because it's in a circuit, the lines down low coming up from the breaker box are going to be your hot line. These are going to be the travelers, which carry on to the remaining circuit. We just want to make sure that these go into the top before we took off the yellow, because we want to make sure that it trips correctly. Easy peasy. So these are going to go in the top ones. Right behind there, there's a little itty bitty grate. You can see it that just slid forward, and I slid my line right behind it. We're just going to tighten it down. It's going to squeeze that real good. Alright.
Can I have those scissors?
Over here, we're going to go ahead and...
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There we go.
Dad,
Yeah, baby.
easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Well, so we have to play with... Yeah, yes. You didn't find something else in there. What about that?
I always like a nice neat one. Can I see those little snips that you had?
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. That's perfect. I'm going to trim off just a little hair off our line here because I don't like it hanging out so much. I like to be nice and neat and pretty in there. There we go. There, that way I don't have a bunch of bare copper sticking out.
Do you have any type of sound here?
No, baby, that needs to stay on for me. You don't need to play with those. Thank you. Alright. And now we're going to flip it around and just do the exact same thing. We're going to make sure that our feed line is in first position. That's where it's coming up from the breaker. And our second, which is continuing the circuit past the GFCI, is behind there. It's just a little bit too long, and like I said, I don't like there to be a bunch of stuff hanging out past that, so I'm just going to snip off just a little bit of that. There.
Dad?
Almost. I got to strip off just a little bit of that last piece of line right there, and then we'll move on. Then we'll check it, make sure we wired it correctly, and we'll test it to make sure that you guys are going to be safe using this bathroom, okay? Yeah. That's right. You got to make sure your stuff's right or it could catch on fire. That's why you do it yourself, or you hire somebody who really knows what they're doing. You hire somebody in who doesn't know what they're doing, or you don't know what you're doing, it'd be very dangerous. That's why I'm teaching you now how to do this.
That's why I've never ever done Ruby.
You can do this kind of stuff when you're just a little bit older. I want you to watch me do it for a while first.
Actually, Dad, I am only done Ruby. People. And thus, gonna make sense. Yeah. It has to be untied. That's why I do not want to have tape. It's a boring, it's a...
You guys are kids. Do you find yourself to be boring?
You find me to be boring.
I don't. I actually enjoy your company. That's why I brought you along to help me with this. Okay, I used my drill to kind of get it started there, and then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to do the rest of it by hand so it gets nice and flush. I don't want to over tighten it and bend the prongs. Okay, then we have a device to test that, and we'll get that itty bitty device in here in just a moment. Put our cover on and call it a day.
Why call it a day, Dad?
Well, because we're done with this one, and we'll edit this and we'll put it up online. So, okay, let's hit the power and we'll see what happens. Okay? What? Okay, we've got everything wired up correctly. We've checked the circuits. We're getting ready to put on our faceplate, which each faceplate is a little bit different. I chose one with hidden fasteners, so I got to back out the mounting screws a little bit. And this will actually fit over those mounting screws like that. And here on the bottom, just as simple as that. And then this plate right here has an itty bitty lip that will catch on the top of that. So we're gonna go ahead and set that in. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just tweak that a little bit here. Make sure it looks good up and down. Check that. We're just gonna, okay. It's correct. 2 lights coming on. It's correct, and you can see that on this little tool right here. Okay, you see it's the last one there. That's a handy little thing, so you can check it. It's correct. Okay, not a big fan of how this is mounted. I'll probably either put caulk around it or I'll go get a different faceplate. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. As always, if you have any questions, drop me a note. Send me an email. Ciao.